had a website, but it was almost like a vanity project back then. Now it is like an entrance fee to have a business.
Good. Hey, I wanted to let you know that the Google guarantee, the Google ads, man, I'm getting 12 to 16 calls a week.
My goal is at least do 10 to 15 more years, grow it up, sell it for 40, 50 million, maybe more.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Titan Talks. My name is Jonathan Stern. I'm an engineer at Topline Pro, but once a week, I have the honor of sitting down with successful home service entrepreneurs to discuss their journeys to success. Today is July 18th, 2024, and my guest is Nick Hart of Buckeye Roof Rejuvenation, a company in Columbus, Ohio. The company offers a large suite of services, including roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, window cleaning, and pressure washing. Nick, we're very excited to have you on the show. Thanks so much for taking the time, and welcome to Titan Talks.
Thank you. I appreciate being on here. Thanks for having me, John.
Would love to get started with an origin story. Tell us, how'd you get started in roof rejuvenation?
In roof rejuvenation and roof cleaning, I'll tell you about 23 years ago, I moved to Central Ohio from Southern California. And we were in the process of buying our first home. And I noticed that there were some black streaks and stains on the roof that we were buying. And so I asked my realtor what that was. And I said, I don't want to buy stains on my roof. And she says, well, you can easily just get rid of that. Just go on up there and you can power wash it off. So I said, all right, no problem. It's something I can do. I know how to run a power washer. So I got up on my roof and I began power washing the black streaks off. And I realized that I was power washing off all the valuable granules and everything else, just making a mess of things. And I said, I don't think this is the right way to do it. I think there might be something that's a little bit easier on not only the roof, but that isn't going to damage anything that I have currently invested in as well. So I did a little bit of research. I called a couple of local companies. They told me what they did, the process that they use. And so I went about doing the remainder of my roof that way. And it worked out pretty well. And so I actually had neighbors who would come up to me and say, is this something you could possibly do for us as well? And I said, sure can, happy to do it. And so we figured out some pricing and figured out a day to do it. And Buckeye was started.
Now, is this a situation where the neighbors were watching you on top of your roof this whole time?
Absolutely.
Is that how they found out about this?
Absolutely. They were walking their dogs and they would see me up there and, usually for a few hours on one day, and then I'd be up on the roof on the other side for a few hours the next day. And again, I was doing mostly just learning for myself. It wasn't really the intention to start a business for this, but when you have multiple people come around and just say, hey, we'd like to have that same thing done, then I immediately said, okay, there might be an opportunity here.
You said you were washing off some important granules in the beginning. Did you have to then go back and add the important stuff back?
No, that part of the roof had to be replaced. So it was, yeah. Again, I learned the hard way, but I found out that this is obviously something we don't want to do in the future. We don't want to be power washing roofs to try and remove stains. There's an easier, more effective way to do it. So yeah, it took me all of maybe 30 minutes to realize that my roof is no longer going to be, working properly because I've knocked all the granules off, or most of them. Yeah.
And what were you doing prior to roof rejuvenation? Because you said you moved. I imagine you had something else going on the side.
We did. I was actually, yes, I spent many years in telecommunications doing something, I was in an office every day and, I had quotas and it was pretty much just smile and dial and get on the phones and see who was interested in your service, and which a lot of people have done over the years. A lot of people that I've met have done similar jobs. And I think this just came into something where I really wanted an opportunity to not only be the boss of my own business, but have the flexibility to schedule things how you want, work with people, beautify some homes, just improve people's quality of living. So I really enjoyed that part of it.
How did you convince yourself in the early days that it was the right thing to do? I mean, you had some people looking on, saying, could you do this to my home? Could you do this to my roof? But how did you take those requests and decided that it'd be the right thing to do to go full time on this job?
What I found out from not only just driving around, you know how it's that cliche that when you buy a car or you're looking for a car, if you've just bought one, all of a sudden you see all of them on the road,
Hmm.
or you're looking for a brand new house and you see new houses all being built everywhere. As soon as I saw really what algae stains were, and I saw the moss that were built up, and somebody told me it's going to be on the north side of these houses, I started seeing it on residential homes. I started seeing it on apartment complexes, hotels, commercial buildings, everything. And that pretty much a light bulb just went off and said, it's not only is it just for residential homes, but commercial homes could benefit from this. And the more I dug into figuring out the benefits of actually having the roof cleaned or having it rejuvenated, then I started to educate myself and educate some of the people that I would speak with on there really is an advantage to this. So it's not just smoke and mirrors. I'm not doing snake oil here. This is actually a benefit to it.
How often do you need to rejuvenate to the typical roof?
For a rejuvenation, typically depending on the age of the roof itself, because when we go out and we do an estimate, we look at how much granules are actually still on the shingles that are there, what condition they're in. Usually anywhere between 12 and 20 years is a good time to start having it done. If you notice some of the things that are there, if you're losing some granules, if it's drying out, if it's cracking, or if it's curling, if you look inside your gutters and you see a lot of granules inside there, at the bottom of your downspout, if a lot of granules, you start to see those are good signs that it's time to maybe look at rejuvenation. And once it's done, the process that we do comes with a 5-year transferable warranty. So the product's going to work for at least 5 years. And now usually you could do 2, maybe 3 applications, and then it's probably going to be a good time to replace the original roof.
So if you said 12 years or so is the period of time in between which you need the service. Given that you probably don't have a lot of repeat customers, at least it's not like landscaping, right? Where they need you
Right.
every 4 weeks
Right.
or every 2
Very,
weeks.
very true. Yes, very true. It's and the
Yeah, so
so the idea behind it is, yeah, we're not going to get a lot of repeat customers right away on the rejuvenation. But when we started just doing the roof cleaning, we also did power washing and we did gutter cleaning, we did soft washing, window cleaning, things like that. So those are more of the repeat services that we can provide a homeowner. And rejuvenation really just came about maybe 3 years ago. Before, you had 2 options. You either fixed a leak in the roof or you replaced it. And now there's a number of insurance companies that are requiring you to maintain your roof, whether you clean the streaks off or do something, or they won't approve your homeowner's insurance. We've seen that a few times as well.
so how many months or years was it then before you decided to add those other services?
Well, it started with just roof cleaning. And
Okay.
then about 2 or 3 years into it, we had some friends that worked for some property management companies, and they asked us if we had done other services or we were able to do other services. And we said, absolutely. If not, we can learn how to do some other ones for you. And so it kind of just morphed into being able to do some other things and really realizing that, if you've got a power washer out there, you can do a power wash, you can do a soft wash, you can do driveways, walkways, stone, you can do the siding, you can do brick, you can do a lot of stuff with it. So it really opened up the doors for us.
I want to go back to the early days. What was your biggest challenge getting the business off the ground? I mean, it sounds like things are going really well, tons of demand in the community,
Yeah.
but I imagine there are a couple hurdles as well.
There's some hurdles. The first one I would say was probably just getting the information out as to what we do
Mm.
and educating not only homeowners but just commercial property owners, property managers to the benefit of roof cleaning, and then hiring somebody who's pretty much a one-stop shop where you can get a lot of those services that they send out to multiple vendors. So we did a lot of meetings where we would go into the offices of these property management companies and just introduce ourselves and tell them a little bit about everything that we do. And then it sort of fell into place where they would start to realize and we would start to connect with them. And just it was just a good fit. You could do more than one project for us. Great. You can, bid on this project, bid on this project. And so it worked out well.
Any other challenges?
I think everybody is pretty much challenged with there's only so many hours in a day, and there's so many people that want to actually have not only their home, power washed or cleaned and their roof cleaned and, their investment maintained. It's not only is it finding good help, but it's maintaining good help and, just keeping yourself busy at the times when the seasons might be slowing down or it's out of season, kind of keeping the revenue stream coming in.
Maybe it's a good time then to turn to business today. Tell us, how many employees do you have and how many jobs on the schedule?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. A lot of jobs on the schedule right now.
Oh, really?
We've got everything from single roof cleanings for individual homeowners to 13 or 14 buildings where we're cleaning gutters for them. And we're looking into doing power washing for them and a number of other services that will come as the seasons provide themselves. Our crew consists of 6 people right now. So we have myself, we have a manager of operations, we have a lead tech, and then we have 3 guys that work with us on a little bit of more than a full-time basis during the summer, and then they come back during the fall and some of the busy seasons and work for us as well.
Great. And then is that including people in the field? Are the 3 are they actually operating on the roofs?
They're operating on the roofs, and most often than not, actually, we're not getting on the roofs very often. We can do everything from the gutter edge. We use safety equipment. We use ladder stabilizers. We have our equipment that will reach the top parts of those. When we are required, we do have to get on there. We use safety precautions, and we get up there and make sure everything is set and safe before we start to walk on roofs.
When was the last time you got near one of your roofs?
Yesterday.
Oh, so you're still out there as well. Okay.
Yeah. We're still out there.
Office.
Yeah, no, I like to work on the business, but I also like to work in the business too. Yeah,
Excellent.
absolutely.
Yeah, no, very, very good. I didn't mean to imply that you were fully removed, but it made it sound like you might not be near the roofs anymore. Some people, when they start the business, they're in it every day with the goal of eventually, no longer doing it. And then there are others who love it and couldn't possibly see themselves no longer doing the work. And so you just get a mix of perspectives there.
Which is very true, and I'll tell you one of the benefits that I have is that a couple of my sons have worked for me in the past. I have one of my sons working for me now. I have a nephew of mine who's working for me as well. So there's a benefit. I get to spend time with my son. I get to spend time with my nephew, and at the same time we're outside. It's beautiful in Columbus right now. So it's hard to pull back and pull away, but it also allows me to stay engaged with them and know, where the business is at, where we may need some assistance on certain things that they may be struggling with, and they may ask me. Or sometimes what I like to do is ask them how they completed a job, and a lot of times they've got their own way of doing things, and sometimes it's more efficient. It might be either they're spending less time on the truck and more time, figuring out how things work. So. Yeah, it's been a benefit.
Well, I'm thrilled to hear that you're booked out. Curious how you got most of those jobs and what the mix is in terms of where they're coming from.
Sure, we got a lot of what we're doing now is word of mouth. It's been very popular. I actually had a gentleman who called me yesterday. This was kind of an odd an odd way to get contact from someone, but we had a yard. We had done a roof clean, and we placed a yard site in before we got there, and after we had left, and then maybe 6 weeks later, I get a phone call from a neighbor of his who had actually picked up my yard sign from out in the middle of the street because it had been run over. And he said he held it up. He says, "We're actually looking to get this done. My wife and I were talking about getting this done." He said, "So I definitely had your contact information." And then when I got to his house and we introduced ourselves, and he actually pulled the yard sign out. Sure enough, big couple of tire marks on it. But I mean, however it comes around, when you get a lead, you get a lead. It was just kind of funny.
Given that so much is coming from word of mouth or yard signs or other stuff, why did you decide to get a website?
Well, we've had a website in the past, and I think a lot of what we did was, we used a very I don't know if I should mention other providers or not, but we had
It's
yeah, so
perfectly
we
fine with us.
okay, all right, yeah. I was like, I don't want to step over the line, but we did a very a simple website with GoDaddy. Where you sign something up, you get a few pages, you put a few photos on there. You go get a vanity phone number, or you get something that you hope is going to draw some people into your business, and then at the same time, you just go about then doing your business. And you hope you start getting some feedback again on however you're leaving cards or leaving flyers or whatever it might be. What we were looking for was something that was a little bit more interactive, it had a few more features to it. And after speaking with someone from Topline Pro and really getting an idea and having them show us the demo, really how it connects with not only the SEO, but they can reach out to, for mailings or different, emails, whatever it might do. Some of the AI features have been amazing. I am so looking forward to using some of these. I'm thrilled to even know that not only is it included, but how simple they are to use. One of them in general was where you can take a photo and AI will post it to your website and then put it out on social media. I was floored that something could happen that quick, but be so easy actually to use and to edit and then post. So I think the relativity with that is really.
Is this where you would text a line, the AI would respond and post at the same time? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just seeing some of those new technologies was just like, okay, I need to drop the other thing and immediately start working with Topline Pro. And it took me about a 45-minute phone call, and I was a client.
Well, we're thrilled to hear that. Anything that you wish we offered, Nick?
I think probably at some point something will come up, and it may even be a feature that already exists and we just haven't opened it, or it hasn't expanded into what we're doing right now. I think for the service that we're in and how we're looking to reach consumers, homeowners, and commercial property owners, I think how they do not only the SEO, but some of the social media postings, the blogs that they set up, I think that right there is going to help our business tremendously.
Have you been pretty active on social media in the past? Is this something that you've steered, or did you sign up in part because we're able to do a lot of that for you?
Yes and no. I signed up because you guys are able to do a lot of that for me, but also because of how easy actually it was, or actually it is and will be. In the past, a lot of our social media was, I would finish my workday, I would come home, look at the photos that we took, and decide I wanted to post something either on our individual website, or post something on Facebook, or if you had an Instagram account. Now the fact that all of that is tied in together, and we can put it on all social medias outlets, and we can do it almost instantaneous, is just fantastic. Plus, being able to set up the postings ahead of time is just a lifesaver. I mean, it really makes the job easier, and it takes a tremendous amount of responsibility off of my plate because it's already done.
In terms of collecting reviews, what is your typical process? Some people are a little shy and don't like to reach out to clients after doing a job. They sort of, want to rely on the homeowner to go to Google themselves and fill out the form. Others will, pretty proactively send review requests. Where do you fall on that spectrum?
In the past, I say I would probably be the latter, to where I was more reliant on our customer to want to say, oh, I want to tell everybody about these guys and tell them what a great job they did. And then they get busy and they forget to put the review out there. Similar to myself, we'd come home and, I'd come home to the office, or I'd get to, wherever my computer was, and I would be working on other projects. And honestly, I would forget to even post. And then when I finally got to thanking them, it might have been a day or 2 days, because you thank them on site and you appreciate everything and you get paid, and then you're on to the next job. The ease of being able to not only send a text or send an email for that review request for the client is groundbreaking for us. Being able to see something move just instantaneously and then have it post is just fantastic. I mean, we've already seen not only the awareness and the education that we're getting to homeowners. We've seen probably just in the last, I'd say, week, probably about 60 more website views. So traffic to the website is, so it's working. I mean, that's a benefit for us.
I mean, they do say it takes time to ramp, but that's fantastic. Wow, that's really good to hear, Nick.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. And I think when it comes down to the reviews, I think as we start to encourage our clients, we do something on site and share that link with them, they'll go right to it. And I expect the reviews to start coming in as well.
Good deal. Well, thrilled to hear all of that. And
yeah, me too. Me too.
Wishing for continued success for sure. So,
yes.
Wanted to ask, for people considering getting into the business, you were in their shoes at one point. What advice would you offer?
The first thing I would tell them is make sure you love what you do, because you're going to spend a lot of time doing it. Whether that's either learning the business, preparing to fail, because you're going to fail. Often I've told myself those are learning opportunities, not failures. You learned how to do something or didn't learn how to not do something. So if you're going to get into something like roofing, I would talk to other professionals in the business and really get their advice on where to start. Maybe even work with one of them for a little while, or see if you can shadow them for a couple of days and see how they do their business. They may not share everything, but it might be something that is beneficial, because roofing itself is a very, very competitive industry. What we're doing with rejuvenation and cleaning is sort of not the opposite of what they're doing, but we're looking to extend the life of the roof. And most roofers that I have either come across, or they're wanting to sell the new roof, that's their business. And
they're replacing the roof. Yeah,
absolutely. And guess what? There's a plenty of roofs out there for both of us to be successful. I just want to help the consumer and the homeowner save a little bit of money, extend the life of their roof. And when it comes down to the time to actually replace that, I've got some contacts for them, but until then, I can save them quite a bit of money and extend the life of their existing roof.
At Titan Talks, we like to close with a rapid fire round. Are you ready?
Sure, absolutely. Let's do it.
You mentioned always wanting to be a business owner, that it was something that you aspired to. Curious, how has running a business, how has doing the thing helped you grow as a person?
I think it's helped me as rapidly as I could possibly describe that one. As far as growth, I mean, patience is one there. Certainly patience. Also, learning, having an open mind to realize that maybe the way that I'm doing things is not always the best way. There could be a better way of doing things. Listening to my employees and staying involved, keep staying engaged with your business and with my business has helped me tremendously over the years.
What's been the most surprising thing?
How much business is actually out there.
Wow.
It really is surprising. You wouldn't think because you're just starting a business, but there's plenty.
Tell us what's been your proudest moment thus far?
Being able to work with my boys.
Hmm. Biggest mistake? And what
Probably working with my boys. If it could be the same.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask, and what did you learn? Although I think
Yeah.
you're gonna
No,
continue doing it.
yeah, I think if I could even say mistake, I think it would be procrastinating on certain things.
Hmm.
Missed opportunities because either we weren't prepared or we didn't have the right solution for it. So sometimes I think that's a mistake that most of them make. It's just not being prepared when the opportunity presents itself.
And to close, what would you say is your goal? Why are you doing all this?
The goal for the business is to grow to approximately 3 times the size we are right now. That would be my business growth goal. Where we are now, I think we're on the path to do that. It'll take some time. It's going to take some time to educate consumers and homeowners about what we do and about the new service, the Rejuvenation. I think the Rejuvenation is going to take the roofing industry by storm, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So just really getting our word out to those that actually can benefit from it.
And I'm not yet a homeowner, but I'm excited to hear that when I am, I won't need to replace the roof. I can first spruce it up a little bit, and
Absolutely.
I certainly know who to call. Nick, it was so good to meet you. Thank you so much for being a part of Titan Talks.
I appreciate the time, Jonathan. Thank you so much.